Linux users have the liberty to enjoy an unparalleled freedom while choosing the Linux distributions as per their needs. Using different open-source technologies, the developers keep creating something new and surprising the enthusiasts. Here, in this article, I'll be listing the most beautiful Linux distros that have impressed me and other Linux users. This list is a mixture of newcomers and popular distros. Number 1. Elementary OS. After Linux Mint and Zorin OS, Elementary OS is probably the most popular Ubuntu derivative. It promotes itself as a fast and open replacement for macOS and Windows. There are tons of Linux distros around that are widely used, but Elementary OS focuses mainly on non-technical users who are fed up with Windows, and young developers who are new to the open-source world. Its development started as a set of themes and apps designed for Ubuntu, so the visual appeal shouldn't turn out to be surprising. This beautiful Linux distro borrows some tricks from macOS for its slick interface that prefers to deliver a clutter-free experience to the users. The OS ships without many default Ubuntu applications, replacing them with many lightweight alternatives. It comes with the homegrown Pantheon desktop environment that looks polished and delivers with a lightweight experience. In case you're having a tough time adapting to Ubuntu's recent shift from Unity, you can give Elementary OS a try. Number 2. Deepin OS. Deepin Linux is an open-source, Chinese Linux distribution that aims to offer a clean and visually appealing interface to Linux users. The latest release of Deepin introduced a new blur and transparency style to the control center and desktop, which makes the overall look more appealing. It features homegrown desktop named Deepin Desktop Environment, or DDE. Deepin Linux, one of the prettiest Linux distros around, also comes with hot corners and gestures that make your Linux desktop experience refreshing. Another striking feature of Deepin is its pleasing installer that makes sure that your experience isn't subpar at any stage. It comes with Deepin Store that provides lots of applications that aren't available in Ubuntu Store. Number 3. Solus OS. While this list features many derivatives of popular Linux distros, Solus tries to set itself apart from that crowd. In a very short period of time, Solus has established itself as one of the fastest growing and coolest Linux distros around. It follows the minimalist approach and sports a flat and modern look. It earns the tag of one of the most breathtaking Linux distros around with the help of its Budgie desktop environment. Budgie desktop is built on top of GNOME, but it doesn't feature shell. There's a main menu to access the available applications. On the right side of the screen, you get Raven, which hosts applets, notifications, etc. Solus has recently added the support for snaps from Ubuntu Snappy Store. Number 4. Nitrux OS. Nitrux is the newest Linux distro on this list of most beautiful operating systems for 2018. You'll take a single look at the distro and find that it has been created with design in mind. It's worth noting that Nitrux is based on Ubuntu Unstable Development Branch ships with Nomad Desktop Environment, which is based on KDE Plasma 5 and Qt. The developers of Nitrux OS have worked hard to distinguish themselves from the usual crop of Linux distros shipping with KDE Desktop. It's also important to mention that the same team behind current Nitrux distribution had previously created another distro with the same name. This cool distro ships with custom-made software. It's based on rolling release model and available for 64-bit systems only. Number 5. KDE Neon. In case you are a KDE loyalist who is looking for a beautiful and lightweight Linux experience, look no further. KDE Neon calls itself as the provider of the latest and greatest KDE software packaged on a rock-solid Ubuntu LTS base. About the looks, KDE Neon developers know how to master the flat-looking themes. There are a number of useful widgets that you can add to the desktop with ease. The distro's menu is straightforward and user-friendly. The strength of KDE Neon also lies in its promise of delivering a rock-solid desktop with the cutting-edge features. With this good-looking Linux distro, you get the stability of LTS, get all the stuff done, and enjoy a slick experience. The software choice too is pretty balanced. Go ahead and try this Linux eye candy as your daily driver. Number 6. Firon OS. Firon OS is based on Linux Mint. What makes it one of the most visually attractive Linux distro is its tweaked Cinnamon desktop environment. It promises to deliver an experience that'll match beat aesthetics of Mac and Windows operating systems. Firon OS is a rolling release Linux distribution. The look and feel of Firon OS is familiar. There are a Windows-like Start button and taskbar that have all the useful icons. The Start menu is intuitively designed as clicking on an option opens a submenu. Theme Changer tool lets you play with icons, setup, background, etc. So, do check it out. Overall, Firon OS, apart from being a beautiful Linux distribution and an eye candy, it's familiar and innovative. Number 7. Pop! OS. System 76's Pop! OS is the youngest member of this collection of the most beautiful Linux distributions. This operating system came into the existence when Canonical decided to ditch Unity and more to GNOME. To provide a customized and fresh experience to its customers, Pop! OS came into existence. While its desktop is based on GNOME, it bears a distinct appeal and minimalistic approach. If you're bored with your current desktop and an Ubuntu-based and cool-looking Linux distro appeals you, look no further. Number 8. Zorin OS. Zorin OS is one of the most popular Linux distros on this list for 2018. Started in 2008, over the years, this visually appealing Linux desktop has established itself as a perfect Windows replacement. Zorin OS is based on Ubuntu, so working on terminal won't need new skills. The installation process is very similar. This Linux distro also comes with a useful set of applications that make your daily life easier. Zorin also comes with built-in Wine compatibility layer to let you install your favorite Windows applications inside Linux. Shipped with GNOME desktop, Zorin really shines and aims to become your daily driver.